How's it going, everyone? It is Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. Let's take a look at the pick from the last video, which was a Sedge PDS. So here is Sedge today on the daily chart. Let's take a look at what the market, or let's take a look at the setup first, and then we'll take a look at what the market is doing today. So yesterday, Sedge slowly kind of inching down while the market's moving up higher. So I took the 1750 PDS for a 39-cent debit. We broke through here early this morning. We got a bit of a pop-up this AM. And you can see that the market has been steadily climbing higher. So we're going to get to that market analysis in a second. But we have it to the end of the week. There's some releases, but as long as Sedge kind of waffles around, doesn't move up too much here, I'm not super worried about this. It's actually holding a good chunk of the gains over here. Potentially, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it actually didn't quite fill in that gap from around here, 1780. So, not super worried about Sedge right now. Will it be a loser? It could, but it was a good pick, and when the market breaks out, take the loss and move on if you're wrong. So we're gonna get into this what the market's doing today, which ties in pretty well. So on a D1 basis, we're in this compression, and today we're actually starting to break out of that compression. So here's the level right here, around just below 575, and we're poking through it right now at 576. If we zoom in a little bit, here is what we are seeing on that shorter term basis. So this is the most organized price action we've seen for a pretty long time. Steady buying, no looking back through these levels. And it's one of the scenarios that I called out for today. So on a longer term time frame, longer term fundamental bias, again, still nothing has really changed. Technical bias, still nothing has really changed. Shorter term, it is shifting more bullish because we have this breakout. Now, tomorrow there's CPI, so we have to keep an eye on that. Today there's also the FOMC statement, so it is to me a little bit odd that we're making a new all-time high before those statements, but I learned quite a bit ago to not doubt this kind of move. Trade what's in front of you, and think about that repercussion a little bit later. We don't have to go gangbusters here, but there's some nice opportunity to take some day trade long. So we had a flat open, and yesterday we had this gap up and a go, which held, tested VWAP, and then made a new high. So that was a fairly bullish move. Today, there's a couple of scenarios that could happen. The first was, and here's an order, and this is what I put in my notes, which you'll see. I thought there'd be either a weak bearish trend day, which I put at a 50% chance, a LPTE day, which I put at a 40% chance, or a bullish trend day, which I put at a 10% chance. So why did I put those percentages as I did? Well, we're at the top of the compression. We were holding on pretty well, but ultimately, I was like, look, we're at the top of compression. We have some tails and wicks. We have some light volume. Let's wait and see what happens on that breakout. I thought there'd be a good chance on the open, if we saw some steady red candles over here, that we could get, a weak bearish trend day. So if we saw something, a move down, it looks something like this, right? We have some overlapping candles, maybe some red candles. Okay, so we're in for a weak bearish trend day. Second scenario, kind of like this, where we get to sideways motion, gap up and down, not really going anywhere. Then I thought we would set a good tone for an LPTE day. And then the final scenario is that if we break through the high of the day early and the all-time high early, right? We may stall a little bit here, but if we break through this early, and we did break through it in the first 90 minutes of the day, on steady buying and little retracement. So this is steady buying. It's light volume, But then the light volume rally broke through, and now it started to pick up volume. So the number one thing you have to know about this rally now is that this is a much stronger move. It's steady buying. It's very organized. Look, there's so few red candles here. So you just want to ride your positions pretty much as long as you can here. And you know that you are at least going to get a double top to exit. So get in the positions, ride them early. We have this move also happening on a 1 OP bearish cycle. So that had us a little bit more cautious. We broke through the high of the day here. Told us that, okay, bearish divergence is setting up, and this next bullish cycle is probably going to be pretty good. So our market bias intraday here is pretty bullish at the moment. This is a very, very bullish scenario. I am a little bit cautious. I'm not going super gangbusters on my longs, but I have a long on. I'll point it out in a sec. I took AVGO. I still have some room to that level over here. Got about $2 of room. And what I like about this chart is that it had this actually test of support, and then it bounced up support, and then is rallying. Not super strong at the moment, but market. I'm getting the market right. So even if my stock selection isn't as superb, I can actually get away with it a little bit. So that's why I took AVGO. But let's take a look at WBA. If it wants to load. Oh, it is already on. Look at that. Okay, so here's WBA, still in that compression. See how it's not really rallying with the market here. I have an order to take the loss. We entered right around, I think, 826, so take the loss here, 864. It's a pretty decent size loss, or an average loss, I would say. Take that and get out of the trade as the earnings are coming up. So we have those two shorts on right now. Market's breaking out. So let's see what longs are looking pretty good. And I've highlighted a couple ones over here for today. I think this is one that Dave took earlier, GLW. That's a nice pick. Soaring higher here. IBM. That's a beautiful pick. You can see move up, compresses, break out over here. 1105. I think that was probably the time to take the trade. Moved up $2 since then. So IBM, some nice relative strength. Oracle. Let's look at this D1 chart first. Oracle's not super strong intraday, but this is a really nice breakout on the D1. So it could set up pretty well for a swing. PFE, massive move today on some volume. Breaking out of this little compression here. I like what I see in the stock. Hitting a little bit of that gap resistance. But certainly we have the tailwind to break through that. GFL breaking out of that support in this compression, getting ahead of it over here. So this is a pretty decent setup, again, for a swing long. ZS. Now, this is not the strongest D1 chart, but I like this gap. We're moving into the gap. We're kind of filled in about halfway of this gap here. We are through that 100 SMA. Stock had a little check and moving up higher. Volume is pretty good, so ZS is not a bad pick. I like that one a good bit. ANET is moving up as well. Nice. This was another sort of reversal pattern, very similar to AVGO. It's kind of doing some weird mumbo jumbo here, so I'm not crazy about that right now. PLTR. Breaking out of that level. You see these little dips over here, so that's a nice one little entry sign here. There's another little entry setup right here. Again, 1055. So there's a lot of these breakouts over here. FTNT. That's a nice setup here. Breaking through this high minus trend line. Breaking out of this compression. There's a high plus trend line that it's hitting up against here. Um, that could be fairly valid. Looks like that is offering a little bit of challenge. So, not a bad move. And here's actually why I like it. So we're through this breakout here. We have room to the high of the day here. And we could potentially break it. So FDNT, not a bad setup. A lot of stocks are going to show relative weakness on this kind of market move. So you want to really just get a stock that is close to support and has a pretty good risk reward to it. That's actually why I ended up choosing AVGO, because it's close. It tested that support and went up going back. So this is where I actually think just looking for the intraday relative strength can get pretty hard. You want to find a good D1 stock that has a good breakout, good volume, some good organized price action. You have the market trend in your favor, and you're close to support. The main thing is you're close to support. You don't feel like you're reaching too far for the move. So pick for today. I will probably, well, let's see what the market looks like. If the market closes above the all-time high here, and Oracle closes above this level, then Oracle long is going to be my pick. So those are the conditions. We're going to add those to the YouTube picks. Keep in mind there is CPI tomorrow, and then also PPI on Friday. Bank earnings kick off Friday, so there is some stuff coming into the week here. So keep that and just make a note of that as part of your game plan. And yeah, I mean, if you feel like you're chasing the move, enter a small position, get in the move here, because this move will last longer than you think, and you will probably be able to take profit on the stock if you hold, I don't know, till the end of the day. So at least that is my plan here on AVGO. Even though it's not rallying right now, I think that strong market tailwind could carry it up a little bit higher. So that's it for today's video. Oracle is going to be your pick for today. Thank you for watching, everyone. We're going to take a look at how Oracle did in tomorrow's video.